not take this. We will fight back.
Fight back. Fight back.
And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and goddamn it, shut down the city. We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God, I forgot what good politicians were like. That's insane. That's insane. I want to do a piece on this thing that we've been craving, which is Democrats actually finding a spine. And ever since Donald Trump got inaugurated and we saw this sort of blitzkrieg flood the zone, as Steve Bannon has once put it, strategy of Donald Trump to overwhelm people with the amount of news that's simply happening, to get the real dastardly things, underneath the surface ready to go. Because every time Donald Trump announces something that is a pure identity politics, and I don't even love the phrase identity politics for a number of different reasons and how it's been misused by a number of different cohorts. But I mean, they'll use a culture war, and that's a better term. They'll use a culture war issue du jour, a culture war issue of the day, and flood the zone with so many stories of we're cutting DEI in this department and trans people in that department. And that's part of the point. The confusion is the point, is to try to get us distracted from the real destruction that's going on. As we kind of learned during the Trump administration, as we're really going to learn as we learned during the first Trump administration, as we're really going to learn during the second Trump administration, it's real easy to tear apart a system. It's really hard to build it back up, especially when the people who tried to tear it apart are fighting you every single time you try to put a brick on top. Like every single time you try to lay some plaster down and lay up a brick, they just come with a wrecking ball trying to tear it down, even if it's like 2 bricks, right? So this is how we've gotten here, frankly. And so I think, especially in the United States, and there'll be plenty of time to talk about domestic news, but we will definitely be talking a lot in the United States, especially about resistance of any kind. Not even talking about the quote unquote hashtag resistance from the first Trump administration, but resistance of any kind to what has been going on over the past 2 weeks, where you have had this unprecedented control of a billionaire in our politics, and controlling a lot of our Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. These are things that the most vulnerable people in our society, it's called Social Security. And by vulnerable people, I mean people who worked their entire lives. They're not taking handouts. They worked their entire lives. They earned the ability to spend the sunset period of their lives, so to speak, retired and relax, and with the ability to do other things in society, such as take care of friends and family and loved ones, and give back to their community with the amount of time that, someone who is younger and working on their education or their trade, or someone who is a little bit older and building themselves in their career or trying to get to a certain point or getting back on their feet. Once you're retired, those, ideally, the work you've done in your past allows you to spend some of your latter years doing things that are more personally fulfilling. And, what's more personally fulfilling for you during long, hard working years of life and your career, your work, or whatever you've been doing, is to just sit on your ass and relax. Well, then absolutely, for sure, that should be fine. Thankfully, you are starting to see signs of what we used to call, before you had woke, quote unquote. But no. This is a testicular fortitude. And testicular fortitude is not does not exist within the gender binary. All right? It's a vibe. It's a mindset. testicular fortitude means tienes los cojones. All right, like you have the wherewithal, like, you know, in a gender binary way, like you either have the balls or you got the tits to like actually have these fights. And this has gotten way too far into the sexualization that I wanted to, but it's like having, and many cultures do this in a different way, which is why I kind of expressed that way. But it's about having the ability to stand up for what is right, even though it's going to create difficult conversations for you. Because sometimes standing up for what you believe in means that people who are on your side are going to start to have to question you. And that's okay. That's fine. That's good, actually, because it's very easy to have people on your side who agree with you day in and day out. Frankly, I think this has been a problem with the left for a long time, and not just the left as in, like, you know, as broadly assumed to be within Democrats, as in like a broad, these are Democrats, therefore they're the left. When a lot of people tend to see that there's the Democrats who represent the, you know, center of the country, frankly, maybe even quite the center, left of center. And then you have progressives, and then you have true leftists, like socialists, Marxists, anarchists, who only treat the Democratic Party as a vessel for electoral or legislative politics. But once you get to like a certain point in the left, these are people who fundamentally do not believe in electoral politics. And so I say all that to say that part of the quote unquote left, this broad left that I'm describing right now, the part of the left within the Democratic voter base, but people who actually hate the Democratic Party, these folks are going to be driving the conversation in the future right now, because that's where the energy is, and also that's where the fight is. These folks have slowly, over the past 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 15 years, sometimes even more in the case of people like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, they spent their political careers eking out, you know, a get in where you fit in size of what the post Democratic Party left of center of the country looks like. And through that, you've gotten to see, you know, Bernie 2016 and 2020, Elizabeth Warren, even before that, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that we're seeing getting gutted right now. All these things are incredibly important. And so, this is to say, I started this clip by saying the Democrats have, so far in the Trump administration, we're talking 2.5, 3 weeks into the Trump administration, have fundamentally failed at their goal of just existing in a democratic republic, quote unquote, of fighting your opposition at all costs, at every turn, at all costs. They're not doing that. The party is too busy fighting themselves for what they even want to stand for. And so now we have to kind of have this outside fight. And this doesn't look like a fight, because there's going to be a lot of Democrats talking with each other that I'm going to go through really quickly here, or as quickly as I can. But now you're going to see Democrats who now feel empowered to put their own necks on the line for an example of what fight looks like, right? So it's going to be like, this is what my version of fight looks like. Okay. Thank you, you know, Maxwell Frost. I'm Ilhan Omar, and my version of fight looks like this. Okay, thank you, Ilhan and Maxwell. I'm Rashida Tlaib, and my version of fight looks like this. Okay, thank you all. I'm AOC, and my version of fight is a little bit slightly different from your version of fight, but we can still all get to the same place. That's, if there's anything positive and exciting within the Democrats right now, that is where it is. It's that we can have fights with people who care about the politics versus fights with people who just want to destroy the politics. And of course, this is all, we're having these infights so that we can align on a message or like make the best message win, so that we can take this infight outside and turn into an outfight, and then start to gain some messaging wins and turn those messaging wins into political wins. That's a lot to explain, but that is just like making sure a political process is, out there and understood. And I thank you all for rocking with me, because it's, a lot and it's heavy. And we should live in a media ecosystem where I can just say what I said and it just makes sense. But y'all are addicted to TikTok, so we can't do it. It's okay. I sound mean, but me too.
All right, let's give it up for Representative Ayanna Pressley.
First of all, happy Black History Month,
Come on now.
which is American history. There's a sign back there that says Doge actually means dangerous oligarchs grab everything. Well, ain't that the truth? I am so tired of these billionaire boys and their grubby little hands.
Hey now, say all about my yin. Okay, Ayanna Pressley. Given everything I just said right now, Ayanna Pressley is on a warpath that I can appreciate. All right. I gotta run that back. Because that was dense. This is a pose right here. Like, this is the moment. But this whole thing is dense. Let's run it.
Which is American history. There's a sign back there that says Doge actually means dangerous oligarchs grab everything. Well, ain't that the truth? I am so tired of these billionaire boys and their grubby little hands grabbing at everything. Hands off our bodies, hands off our data, hands off our tax refunds, hands off our social security checks, hands off our constitution, hands off our democracy, hands off.
Oh, nah. And where's Uncle Ruckus? Oh, nah. That's just the tip of this iceberg. Yo. I mean, the way she electrified not just the elected Democrats behind her, who have, I've spent this entire hour plus long stream so far, and maybe 30 minutes more to continue, talking about how these Democrats have taken wins and losses here and there and sacrificed on certain principles that I disagree with here and there. This is unapologetic. This is loud. This is proud. This is strong. This is fierce. This is correct. This is accurate. This is fighting for people that, frankly, and an approach that is strong. And this is, given, speaking from Boston, Chelsea, Somerville in Massachusetts, as a Democratic representative. Ayanna Pressley is speaking from such a strong perspective. I'm getting a little Boston right here, and I've never been there, right? But like, she's speaking from such a strong perspective of everything Democrats are trying to say so quickly. Everything I've been trying to say, and I get long-winded with because I'm trying to analyze and break it down for folks. But like, you need people who can slow it down and break it down for folks. And you need people who will just like break it over you with a bat, right? And Ayanna Pressley is going to break it over you with a bat. This is loud. Let's watch this right here.
Little hands grabbing at everything, hands off all.
And that's what I wanted to say. Like, the grabbing at everything also gets to, and forgive me for my male presence here, but this gets it. Elon Musk, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, JD Vance. I mean, this is the not like us presidency, especially as we're speaking on the eve of the Super Bowl. Lord knows what's going to happen. Considering Kendrick Lamar, that man played Not Like Us, a song calling out creepy conservative tendencies in rap music to the forefront and bring them to the mainstream, to the point where even the mainstream, which tends to lean kind of conservative, because conservative is like waging a culture war in the way that Democrats are just fundamentally incapable of doing. We've talked about this on PowerPort and many shows on the left talk about this very much. Hassan, the Surfs, Christina Cosmopolitics, we all do the great jobs of talking about all this stuff, among others. But the principle, the concept, the approach of not, the Democrats not meeting conservatives on this culture premise has been detrimental. And there's such a need for so many different approaches of voices to break through to that. And Ayanna Pressley is really doing that here. Let's run it. Let's continue. Bada bing, bada boom.
Hands off! As a proud member of the Committee on Oversight, I'm here for some real-time congressional oversight. And you are a beautiful sight to see, and you prove that the power of the people has always been greater than the people in power. That was true in Seneca Falls. That was true in Selma. That was true at Stonewall. And it will be here true today. This is an unprecedented moment, a constitutional crisis, but we will match their energy. With unprecedented organizing, mobilizing, agitating, we will see you in the courts, in Congress, in the streets. Elon Musk is a Nazi Nepo baby.
We will match their energy in the streets, in the Congress, and in the courtrooms. We will match their energy in the streets, in the Congress, and the courtrooms. Elon Musk is a Nepo baby, something that his own dad, even admits.
A godless, lawless billionaire who no one elected. Elon, this is the American people. This is not your trashy Cybertruck that you can just dismantle, pick apart, and sell the pieces of. And I want to say to our Republican colleagues, pay attention. We're here today in the hopes that you will see the light. But if you do not see the light, we will bring the fire. Resist!
Right here. Got you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Representative.
No. Let her keep the mic. 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 That's amazing. That is amazing. Monanep, yes, free Palestine. Mars Falcon, Palestine for Palestinians now. Wendy Gofton, same sentiment. And yes, Mars Falcon again acknowledging it's the Grabby Boys Club. Some more comments here. Good for Gabby saying this is history. I agree. And also good for Gabby saying, like, yeah, hands off in general, hands off the economics, hands off our bodies, hands off our rights, hands off our politics. For people who weren't elected, again, like I've seen some of this in the past. I'm watching some of this with y'all right now. Ayanna Pressley that's my president right there. That's my dark horse. Okay. Ayanna Pressley got the rhetorical fire And, you know, I'm sure someone's going to be able to use this clip against me because Ayanna Pressley is going to do something in the past, present, or future that's going to, like, you know, not be great on my politics. All right. But I'm looking for, if I pointed to someone who's like great on most or not, if not all my politics, I'm probably going to point to like Pramila Jayapal or Rashida Tlaib. And even then, like, I'm going to regret those words because it's just a bad place to be in. Right. If I'm going to get someone who has like the star power, I'm going to get AOC. But Ayanna Pressley is definitely going to be one of my dark horses. Of like, again, it's Black History Month and I'm Black, so I get to use the phrase dark horse, and I don't get to mean it that way. All right. But like, this is going to be someone who like no one I think is looking at right now. I think people will be like, oh yeah, Ayanna Pressley, that makes sense in retrospect. But I'm saying here right now in 2025, don't sleep on Ayanna Pressley. Okay. That is a fighter. Oh, whoa, that is a fighter. That is history. I agree with you. Speaking of good political commentators, Aaron Patton said earlier, I recently discovered Tom Hartman. Tom Hartman's great. I think we may have read that comment earlier, but if we didn't, just want to highlight that Tom Hartman's great. I believe this is LaMonica McIver from Newark and Jersey City, New Jersey's 10th district. And so we'll see what she has to say here. I'm curious.
Look, I came here with one simple message, just like you all. We will not take this shit from Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We want you to know, as mentioned, we came here for an oversight visit in this building behind us, and they told us that we had to have an appointment for an oversight visit. So let's let them know loud and clear to let us in. 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 Donald Trump. Donald Trump thinks that he is a dictator, but we are going to prove him wrong. I came here to Congress in September, and I want Donald Trump to know that this Jersey girl means business.
Okay. Listen, Donald Trump dog walked all over Chris Christie. This woman is built different. Okay. Like, let's go. Okay. This is the rhetoric. And again, my white leftists, I want you to take clear here that it has been, was, is, and always will be in America, at least in the American context, in the very recent American context, it's going to be women of color, especially Black women, who are going to be forceful and powerful enough and fearless enough to lead this movement. I'm going to let her cook.
We will not stand for this. We will fight back. The people always had the power. And I tell folks, we've been talking about it all day today. Someone told us that Republicans had their phones off the hook so they wouldn't take your calls about what's going on here. Boom to that. And I tell you that when we leave here, we need to organize and mobilize and tell people to call every elected official of Congress and let them know, especially the Republicans, that we will not take this. We will fight back.
Fight back. Fight back.
And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and God damn it, shut down the Senate. We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, this is my favorite politician in America. Oh my God. This is my favorite politician in America. I'm literally getting goosebumps and tears right now. We are at war. We are at war. We are at war. Yo, okay? I'm gonna play that one more again. I'm gonna play that one more again. Because that was too good.
The Republicans, that we will not take this. We will fight back.
Fight back. Fight back.
And as I close out, because I know we've been out here for a long time, and God damn it, shut down the Senate. We are at war. Anytime a person can pay $250 million into a campaign and they be given full access to the Department of Treasury of the United States of America, we are at war. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I forgot what good politicians were like. That's insane. That's insane. Yo, like, I forgot what competent politicians were like, really, for the longest time. I didn't know that existed. What is this? Let's put her full mast on here. Sorry, I gotta keep toggling the captions. Let's put her full mast. LaMonica McIver. Holy shit. Oh my God. That is my gold standard of a politician. That is the standing up that we need to see. Why is she not on MSNBC? Why is she not on CNN? Why is she not on Fox News? Why are they not putting Ayanna Pressley? Why are they not putting these black women on Black History Month this prominently on the news? I have not talked to their staff. I think this is going to be a project that I want to do on PowerPoint, or, at least like on the left in general. I have my ways. God damn it. But this is the voice, the vitriol, and the energy that not just is needed, but is what is being called for by people who are not even me, which is how I know this, which is why I'm being so strong and forceful in my voice right now. This is incredible stuff. This is the most empowering stuff that I've heard over the past 2 weeks, frankly. All right. And thank you all for being here with me on this. I think it's really important to be here. And I think more Democrats could learn from this, frankly. Yeah, I'm reading from the chat right now. Burning Bush Dragon. This one's really good. How do you ever official nursery rhyme channel? People have fed up. I totally agree. I think this is totally great. Like, again, Burning Bush Dragon saying, people, I was born in Jersey. She makes me be proud of it. This is great stuff. Left the box being really good. The history books of tomorrow are being written today. How do you want your name to be shown? I agree here. This is how you should want your name to be shown. Again, I've been doing, I'll just say really quickly as a shameless plug. We're trying to figure out here on PowerPoint how to do coverage of Trump. We're going to be very adaptive. We hope to be more adaptive than, frankly, any show on the left of how we cover this, because I think this is going to be different in different cycles and different eras, especially after the midterms coming up soon, especially as different elections, as different events start to happen. Maybe there'll be some wars, maybe there'll be some conflicts, maybe there'll be some elections in different key places. I think Americans, smart leftist Americans, would do well to understand their Canadian politics, their Mexican politics, their British politics, their South Korean politics, their North Korean politics, their Russian politics, their Western and Eastern. Just learn politics from around the world. And frankly, there's no other show that does this than your Oh, God damn it. Your Power Report World, which usually I have like a graphic to be on in the background for. There's that. But yeah, that's the show. That's what we're here for. Oh, there we go. Yes. You can see up there, Power Report World. On the podcast, that's going to look very dumb for you, not going to look for anything for you because you're on the road or running or doing your things that you need to be looking at something else that's not my voice for doing. So, just do that. 4-4. Hi, Dan.